So what's happening, guys? I'm about to do a very highly requested video on this channel. I get video requests in general for me to do this topic. I get a lot of comments about this topic, so I'm going to go ahead and do it now. I'm going to answer a lot of questions. So when it comes down to it, how to know you are one of the chosen ones. I believe if you even have to question that you were one of the chosen ones, then you should question it. If you know, I don't think so. I don't think you have to question it. It's like something you know on the inside. It's something that you've always known since like you were a kid, almost. Since I was a kid, I always knew I was different. I always knew. It's like my mind was on a different level than a lot of people. It's like everything everybody else did was just too original, too plain, too predictable. And it's like, I just feel a lot of people in general are shallow. And, you know, I don't think it's hard to be different in today's world. I think it's the easiest thing ever because almost everybody is the same. Almost nobody is really who they're supposed to be. Almost nobody wants to be who they're supposed to be because it's too hard. It takes too much work. They would rather fit in and do other things with other people all the time. There's nothing wrong with doing something out of left field with somebody. But it's like all the time, most people in today's society, they just want to fit in. They just want to do this, they want to do that. They need a carload of people to go to the gym with. You know what I mean? It's just all these things. I believe chosen ones have something on the inside that not a lot of people have. And I believe if you even have to question it at all, I really do not think you're one, because I think chosen ones know indefinitely that they are. That's just what I think. And because I always knew it since I was a kid. I always knew it. I was just a jack little kid running around full of confidence. Didn't grow up like most people that are kids that run around, that are like really fit, young kids that are smart, that have confidence. They usually grow up like in a rich family with parents that like pushed them, that did all the right things. It's like that their upbringing was like all the right things for them to be that way. And with me, complete opposite. But I was still that kid that had that confidence, that had that swagger, that had that, you know. I had like everything to be a born star. And I didn't let anything get in my way in life. There's things that brought me to my knees. But the chosen ones don't break. I've been through hell. I've had weak times. But I never stayed weak. Everybody can experience weakness. Everybody. The strongest people in the world experience weakness. The strongest people in the world express their vulnerabilities. Look at David Goggins, one of the hardest men in the world. They call this guy the hardest man in the world. I believe it because look what he done. If you don't know David Goggins, you should look into it, because he is a wicked, wicked man. He used to be weak. He used to be overweight, and now he's like one of the most craziest dudes going. He has a lot of records broken. Records for pull-ups in a certain amount of time. He runs ridiculously long races, basically for nothing. And he has a disturbed past, so it's like all these things created the monster inside of himself. And he used all that in a positive way. And you can either let your past break you or make you, and I believe chosen ones, like I said, they never break. They can get hit, they can hurt, they can have moments of weakness, but they never completely break. There's a lot of broken people in this world, and they will not admit it. They want to act like they're good. They want to act like this. They want to act like that. But, they have given up. They did not do what they were supposed to do. And I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm just saying, you cannot give up on yourself. You can't. You have to keep that swagger that is deep within yourself. You have to keep that confidence. You could have had a very hard past. You could have went through some shit. You can never let yourself get away from yourself, is the thing. Because the person you talk to sometimes, it might not be the person you want to be talking to in your own head. You might want to be talking to somebody else. You have to make sure you're strong so you can be talking to the right person. Because you are you, but you have that voice in your head. Everybody has that voice in their head. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you have to make sure the right voice in your own head is the right voice. That's what you have to make sure of. You are in control of that. It's almost like you have two of you. And there's something with you at all times. There's something guiding you. And sometimes you could have the wrong thing guiding you. That's the thing. You have to make sure it's the right thing. It's what it comes down to. And I believe I never let the right thing inside of me get away. Never. And I really feel people can lose themselves so deeply that they can never get the person back that they were supposed to have. And they lost that person and they can't get them back. Even through my hardest times, I was fully capable of staying who I was supposed to be and not losing myself. My circumstances growing up did not matter. It wasn't the worst circumstances and it wasn't perfect circumstances. Either way around the board. Nothing was perfect, nothing was the worst. That's all I'm saying. And I don't think anything mattered because I was supposed to be who I was destined to be. I figured things out on my own. I did not have mentors. I did not have smart people in my life. I just did not. And having smart people and having bad people in your life are two different things. Somebody could be smart and they could be bad. Somebody could be good, but they could be dumb. You want smart people in your life. And I'm just trying to think of ways right now how to explain this to the best of my ability so you guys can understand where I'm coming from. But it's like, you can have good people in your life, but they're dumb. You know what I mean? They might not be the worst. They might not be abusive. They might not treat you bad. Kind of average, you know what I mean? It's not overly good. It's not overly bad. It's just sort of in the middle. It's not nothing that you can't handle. It's not traumatizing. It's whatever, you know what I mean? You can have like kind of good people in your life, but they could be very dumb. They give you no direction, so it could end up ruining your life. The people you have closest to you are just not helpful. You know what I mean? It is up to you to get the right help. It is up to you to get in the mix with smarter people, because you are who you surround yourself with. If you want to be smart, you got to surround yourself with smarter people. That's just how it is. You can't be around all this toxic bullshit. And I think dumb people, in a way, to me are toxic because I don't relate to dumb people. I can't be around it because I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be that way, you know? And there's times where you have to, like, you have no choice. You got to be surrounded by some not so bright people, and I do not like it. I try to not get fully engaged with these people, and I just kind of, stay in my own mind, stay in my own mind frame. Don't let them internally get to me, type thing. Like, stay being yourself is what you want to do. And you want to get in the mix with people that's going to help you grow. Not people that's going to hold you back. Not people that's going to say enough is enough. You can calm down. You can chill now. You can do this now. Do this with us. Blah, blah, blah. You don't want those settling people in your life. You don't. You need smarter people. You do. And you have to listen to smarter people if you want to get better, if you want to get smarter. Some people are blessed from a young age, from their upbringing, that they were around smarter people, so they got smarter faster. But if you weren't, you have to get the knowledge yourself. It is out there. You can do whatever you want to do. If you want to be the people that are more smarter, if you want to be the people that's more successful, you have to surround your mind with more successful people from the internet, because you might not be able to get to them in real life. You might come from a shitty place. You might be surrounded by shitty people doing shitty things. You got to stay away from all that nonsense and focus your mind onto smarter and better people, chosen people. And like I said, guys, if you are truly chosen, I don't think you ever have to second guess it. Like I said, my circumstances growing up, I don't want to sit here and play victim at all. I'm not going to lie. My upbringing definitely was not the best. Not even close. But it was not even close to the worst either. It's like dead in the middle. You know? Not abusive. But I didn't have extra. I didn't have help. I didn't feel guided at all. I felt very talented. I felt chosen. I felt like the smartest person in my house as a young kid who had so much talent and intelligence. And I was smart enough to grow up, to grow myself, not needing things that I grew up around. I was smart enough to get the right knowledge. I was smart enough to do the right things. And, I left no excuses. I could have, like I said, you are what you're around. I did not let that be my thing, because I could have grew up to be average. I've already surpassed average quite a while ago. So I do think some people are born with a little extra touch of something. I really do believe it. Your mind has to be on a different level to not be like the people you grew up with. It does. Because you see most people, they are who they grow up with. They can't get out of it. They can't change it. And it's because they're not willing to be uncomfortable. They're not willing to get themselves out of the mind frame that they grew up in. They're so consumed in it, they can't see nothing else, because this is what they know, what was right in front of them their whole life. You have to push that away. You have to get away from that and expand your mind to what is in this entire world. You know what I mean? And I just feel I never let anything in life like tie me down. My birthright is freedom. There's nobody that could take anything away from me. You can stop me short term, but you're not going to stop me forever. You can try and be negative to me. You can try and stop my growth and progress. You can try to hold me back, and you know what? You might have a little bit of success, but it's not going to last, because I will get out of the cage wherever I was in. I will. That's what monkeys do. And I'm like a monkey. I do like to climb shit. I do like heights. I'm an adrenaline junkie. Like, I like animalistic things. I feel more animal than human. You know what I mean? And I just, there was another question I got to that I want to answer, because this person wanted to know, like, there's a lot of people in the world that think they're chosen, but they're really not. You know what I mean? And it's a hard question to answer, because I do think there are people that probably call themselves chosen, but in actuality, they are not. And I don't want to point fingers. I don't want to do any of these things. You are entitled to what you want to believe in. But if you have to question yourself on that topic specifically, I don't think you're chosen. I just don't. And it's not the end of the world. There's not a lot of chosen people in this world. There's just not. You really have to be one in yourself. You really have to be different from your entire family. You have to be different from the entire world, pretty much. Like, you are your own person. Doesn't mean you don't listen to anybody else. You don't take anything from anybody else. You don't, you're not open-minded. It doesn't mean that. It just means the world can't get inside of you. You are inside of the world. The world is your oyster. The world does not consume you. You know what I mean? You don't let things get to you. You don't let things change you in a negative way. And you were gifted. You were highly talented at many, 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 many things. You could probably go into other people's worlds and beat them at what they're the best at. You know? Because of your smarts. Because of your gifts. And I believe chosen are far and few. It is a long shot to call yourself chosen, and there are going to be a lot of reasons behind it to back that up. And it's got to be the way you think and the way you do things. And it's very hard to put it into words. It is. It's very, very difficult. It's very deep, and it's like one question after the other, after the other, after the other. It's like you answer one thing and there's just more questions behind it. And it's just like a never-ending thing. It's something that you almost can't put out into words. It's almost something that is just in you. It's just, you're different. You're not like the rest. You're built different. You think different. You walk different. You talk different. You're just so different. In a good way. Because personally, I wouldn't even want to be like everybody else. That shit is lame to me. That shit is predictable. That shit is not fun. Being like everybody else. Being on the same wavelength as everybody else. Doing the same things as everybody else. You're not doing anything different. You're not creating anything new. You're just, being like everybody else. Thinking like everybody else. You're almost growing the identity of everybody else. That is not who you are. But anyways, this is the topic for this evening. These are the points I wanted to get across. I hope I answered as much as I could have to bury the hatchet. I'm sure there's something else I could add in. I just can't really think right now. I said the most important things I needed to say. And I guess I could answer some things in the comment section. If there's any other more questions or concerns or whatever. I'm just trying to think for a second. That's pretty much it, I think. And yeah, there's a ton of comments, so I don't know if I'm going to see every single one. There's a lot of comments on this channel, guys. A lot. So, But anyways, I'm going to get to the end of this video now. I do have another one to do, so we will get to that one. And I'll be back. You guys have a blessed evening, and we'll be back tomorrow morning. Boom.